Today I googled what is the craziest coincidence ever recorded, and this one will blow your mind. Two identical twins that were separated at birth grew up without knowing each other existed, but somehow ended up living identical lives. Now both their respective parents named them James, but called them Jim for short. Both had a brother named Larry, both had a dog named Toy, and they both married women named Linda. When this didn't work out, they both divorced and went on to marry women named Betty. Both Jims had a son, and they chose the same name, James Allen. The only difference being is that one Allen was spelled with two L's. Bear in mind at this point, they'd never even met yet. Both Jims were chain smokers, both Jims suffered from migraines, and both drove a Chevrolet. Jim 1 worked as a deputy sheriff, while Jim 2 was a security guard. It wasn't until the age of 39 that their paths finally crossed, and obviously the crazy coincidences made worldwide news, shocking millions. To understand how this could even be possible, they took part in a scientific study and found that their medical histories and brain waves were almost identical. Today I googled who has served the longest prison sentence in history, and number 1 is still going. So at number 5 is Joseph Legion, who served 67 years and 54 days and was released earlier this year. He was sentenced at 15 years old for murder and was released at age 83. At number 4 we have John Phillips, who served 68 years, 236 days. He was convicted in 1952 for the rape of a 5-year-old girl and was released in March 2021 on parole. Taking third by only 9 days more is Paul Giadel Jr., who served 68 years, 245 days. He was incarcerated from 1911, age 17, and then released in 1980 at 86. Once released, he died in a nursing home 7 years later at age 93. In second place, and the only non-American on the list, is an Aussie man named Charles Fossard. He was sentenced to life after murdering an elderly man and stealing his boots. Charles died when he was still incarcerated at the age of 92, making this the longest served prison sentence in the world because number 1 is still going. And in at that number 1 spot is Francis Clifford Smith. He served currently 72 years and 90 something days, and I know the chart says 71, but it's old. He was sentenced to death for the murder of a night watchman during a robbery at a yacht club. His sentence was changed to life in prison in 1954, only 2 hours before his scheduled execution. Today I googled what are the most liked posts on each social media platform. Starting with Twitter, the most liked tweet to date with a whopping 7.3 million likes is the tragic announcement that Chadwick Boseman had passed away and was posted on the 28th of August 2020. Moving over to Instagram, the most liked post with a whopping 55.5 million is of an egg. Some person woke up in the morning and wanted to set a world record, and 55 million people, including myself, helped out. Now the most liked post on Facebook was bloody hard to find, but it belongs to a man named Nick Vujicic, who was born limbless, and his post with his wife and child has over 15 million likes. People over on Reddit have always been a niched bunch, and this proves it, as the most upvoted thing on Reddit is a picture of Rick Ashley, which I'll be honest, I didn't even know who he was, with a total of 438,000 upvotes. Heading over to YouTube, and we all probably know this, it is Despacito with 45.2 million likes and 6.6 billion views and counting. But since it was obvious, the most liked non-music video on YouTube is of the bloody egg again. It was posted by Mr. Beast and has 17.9 million likes. And if you're watching this on TikTok, I think you already know what the answer is going to be. It is, yes, Bella Porch with a huge 50 million likes on her lip-syncing video.
Am I the asshole for giving my ex-wife a large amount of money I won despite the anger of my girlfriend? I recently won a fuck you amount of money. I won't say exactly how much, but it's in the millions. It's enough to change the life of myself and my family. My ex-wife is the mother of my 2 kids. She is an amazing woman and good to the bone. We divorced 6 years ago because I had an affair with my current partner. I was in a low place in my life and I fucked up. She was in incredible pain, but like a fucking saint, she allowed me to still see our kids who mean the world to me, allowed our divorce to be as pain-free as possible. She was actually the first person I phoned after my mom and pops after I found out I won the lottery. She was pleased for me, joked that I could take the kids on a world-round trip, and that was that, nothing else. As soon as I won, I knew I wanted to give her a significant amount, and I feel like this is some small, tiny way I can show her that I'm not a complete fuck-up. She deserves to know that I care despite my mistakes. She also works a shitty job in the public library, which pays her peanuts. She would actually be able to pursue her hobbies this way, give our kids a better life between us. I haven't discussed this with my ex yet, but long story short, when I told my girlfriend, she was livid, screaming that I'm disrespecting her, accusing me of still being in love with my ex. My girlfriend is threatening to break up with me, and to be honest, I'm feeling incredibly relieved over the threats. I don't plan on changing my plans, but am I the asshole? I'm 28 female, repulsed by my husband, 36 male. I fold the laundry, and I've recently noticed an uptick in skid-marked boxers. One pair I could let go. Everyone has had more trust in a fart than it deserved, at least once, but it's becoming a weekly thing. He's also put on quite a bit of weight since marriage, and I realize that's incredibly shallow of me to say. He has always been a bigger guy, but he has increased his mass by 33% and is now edging dangerously close to 400-pound territory. I've told him that his hygiene is slipping a bit. You need to brush your teeth in the morning and scrub with a washcloth. I shouldn't smell any musty cheese when I get down there. He thinks I'm trying to be funny and just joking around. I don't know how to be more blunt. The sheets on the bed look like I snuggle up with a KFC chicken thigh. He got a gaming laptop a while back, and in a typical day, he says 3 words to me and acts annoyed if he has to take off his headphones to hear me. I want a loving, intimate marriage. I feel like a troll that lives on the front porch and only scurries out to cook and do the laundry.